So, Kendall, what happened to your friends? I thought they were going to film part 2 with us.
Oh, man. Well, they got tired. It is like 4 in the morning right now, and you're insistent on this, so they had to go sleep because they work.
Well, I can say this on my podcast. When this comes out, this probably is going to come out tomorrow anyway. So, I will say this. Happy birthday, Kendall.
So far, this is not the happiest birthday. Well, this is my 1-year birthday in drag. I fucking hate it. I'm not pleased with my current progress. As for Maddie's 24th birthday, I don't know how that's going to go. We'll have to see tomorrow.
But yeah, with that, welcome back to Hellfire. So, Kendall, tonight we're talking about Global All-Stars Part 2.
You're holding me fucking hostage. I just want to get through this podcast so I can go home to my family.
What do you think about the queens that haven't performed?
Does what I say, will what I say affect what you do to my family?
Aren't I in your fucking family?
Like I said, what you do to my family. I'm a hostage here. I'm a fucking hostage. Samara's holding me hostage. I have a family.
If I was holding you fucking hostage, would I have gave you a fucking throne or a fucking crown at the fucking end of the day? You're king of the fucking hell.
Look, there's a word for it. It's called marriage. Marriage is just a glorified hostage
you want to know
situation.
you know what I can do? I can put you back in purgatory in the fucking hospital. You go live the rest of your life out there.
Call the counterterrorism unit of being held hostage.
Hey Sam, you got to know to send him back to purgatory, right?
I'm sending a Morse code message. I'm sending a Morse code message.
Okay, back to the topic. How do you think these queens will honestly do?
Probably the same as their forebearers in the first episode. Are we talking?
What did you think about the first episode though?
I thought it was okay. Nothing really stuck out to me as much as in season 16.
I guess more of I see. Do you see how it kind of gives that UK kind of feel where it's untucked in the middle?
Yeah, the one fucking UK bitch has an advantage. UK themed.
Okay, so just for fun, what's your favorite drag queen of all time from Drag Race? And you know you do have favorites, so don't lie.
Oh, if you were gonna say drag queen of all time, I would have been like, Drag Race queen? That's a tough one. I mean, Angeria kind of comes to mind
because she just won like All Stars 9.
I would have preferred if Roxy won.
Same, that was a track record, but I guess RuPaul wanted to give it to the blacks.
I would have preferred if Roxy won.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, the Andrews family is one of the only good families left in Orlando, at least as far as big names go. And Roxy winning would have given them significant political leverage over the other families in this city.
It would have let the more Florida queens, get out there.
And it would have shown a lot of light on Florida, despite the state of Florida's overall scene, with some exceptions.
Okay, there's some exceptions in there.
Yeah, like I said, some exceptions. But I would have preferred Roxy to win because it would have greatly improved.
So Roxy isn't one of your other favorites as well, you would say?
I've come around to liking Roxy. So I used to not like Roxy because of that Orlando name. So I have a few grievances with the Orlando scene, but I have since separated that from the artistry and the person, and I now understand who the good and the bad people are. And Roxy is one of the very good people.
And she has what it takes, because, she was an overall drag king. Not only does she, do her own hair, her own outfits, but her own face at times.
Yeah, and the Andrews family has a drag king in it, so automatically. that overrules now any discontent I have towards Orlando.
So do you think any of these global all-stars are going to get up there for you on your favorite list?
We'll see. None of them really stick out to me right now. This isn't like a season 14 situation where automatically people were sticking out for me. Or season 16, people stuck out for me there. In this case, it kind of blends in so far.
Alright, so you ready to dive in this latest episode?
Quickly.
Okay, last week we met the queens competing in Global All-Stars, and we saw the first half of the queens perform in the Global Talent Show Extravaganza. Alyssa Edwards and Queen Kong won with a double win. What do you think about these two?
I've got a little Latino boy who's DL and coming out for the first time waiting for me on Grindr. So that's what I mean by quickly, because I don't want to miss my appointment to ruin his experience in the gay scene. So I think it was great. This little Latino
I know you
boy.
like USA so far. You like Alyssa.
Patriotism.
How do you think Vanity Vane is going to do in the talent show after losing hers in Sweden?
I'm sure she's either going to come back strong or let the loss get to her and eat her alive, and then she leaves and goes home and it eats away at her day by day until she grows old and is like, I lost that shit, I'm mad.
So from what I've seen, Vanity kind of breaks out of that spectrum. And I think we're going to see it like more this episode. I will say tidbit, I did watch before Kendall. So I do know a little bit more, but Kendall will love this, what Vanity does.
Yeah, and you actually paid attention. See, I'm just faking it right now. I'm actually blind.
I know you like this one. What about Tessa Testicle manifesting her success?
Sorry, just that fucking word, like, manifesting, like, oh my god, I'm like such a white girl, and I'm just gonna manifest someone to deal with all my problems for me. She didn't manifest her success, she did it herself. So good for her for having some fucking balls to do that.
One of my favorites from Mexico, I will mention, Galavaro. She's bringing pole dancing to the talent show, where she also learned a lot of, like, dancing as well. But the one thing that really made me, like, stick out, it kind of made me emotional when she said it, is that she saw Alyssa as her first live drag show that she ever went to. Met her boyfriend that taught her a lot of, like, dancing. He passed away, sadly.
Unfortunate.
But she still tries to carry that for her success. It's like, I looked at it and I was like, imagine I met Maddie and he taught me a lot of, like, sewing and, like, skills. I will talk as AJ for this minute because this is very serious, but, like, you can give me Maddie for a minute, just for a minute, Kendall.
Fine. If you want Maddie so badly, you can have him.
But, like, Maddie, it made me, like, sad that, like, what if you taught me, like, sewing and all the experience that I have of, like, designing clothes and then you passed away?
Well, hopefully you continue to be effective at it.
I still want to carry on what you taught me, though.
Well,
I guess that kind of made me, like, sad at that point, because I thought about it, like, you know how you told me, you're like, think about situations like, what if it was you going through that?
Well, the way I see it is, I teach you how to sew. I want you to do your own thing. I don't want you to carry on my legacy. I want you to use that to make something better. Make something superior to what I had.
I mean, I know that, but, like, I looked at it like, what if I had a partner that died as well?
Yeah, I guess the way I look at it is, like, if I'm teaching someone something, I want them to be superior to me. I want them to figure out the inefficiencies and the problems as to what I taught them, and I want them to be a superior version of what I taught them.
It was just a serious moment. Kendall, you can come back now.
What about me? What if I was gone? How would you feel?
Hi, Kendall.
How would you feel if I was gone?
Hi, Kendall. It's wifey.
But I want to talk to AJ.
I put AJ back in his room.
That's abusive. How would you feel if I was gone and you couldn't run hell without me?
Oh, I could live.
You could live?
Yes.
Well, then I guess I'll just take Maddie with me, and we'll go move.
Go to Jacksonville for all I care.
Yeah, we can just move.
You're a sweet, loving guy. I would definitely feel sad if you left.
You're lying.
Okay, to all seriousness, to my fans out there, I love this person to death.
Well, you should say it through gritted teeth, like, I love this person to death.
Okay, Kendall, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I married you for a reason.
Yeah.
But in demonic world, in demonic language, Kendall knows as much as I do. Hate means more than love. Now, in human world, love is love. But hate is love in demonic form.
Hey, you're a fucking idiot if you think love meant anything in the human world. You know, some of the best inventions we have were made out of hate and spite. You know how you don't have to dial an operator anymore when you call a telephone? That invention was made out of spite. Spite, greed, jealousy, hatred, anger gave us some of the best stuff we take for granted today. Love never did anything for anyone.
Okay,
if you can't hate yourself, how in the hell are you going to hate somebody else?
You ready to get back?
Quickly.
Okay, next the queens compete in a mini challenge, a photo shoot for Quick Drag magazine, where they have to work the Soul Train dance line and have their photo shoot taken. Let's go through these looks. It's 5, 4, 3. Hi, Kendall.
Hello?
Kendall. We're a mini challenge.
What's your problem?
So what do you think about Pythia?
It's alright. It's pretty good.
Did you like that look or no?
I thought it was okay.
I mean, I guess it was like mid for me.
Yeah.
Let's do hit or shit. This might make it better. Queen Kong. I like that she actually took fun with it, so I'm gonna have to give her a hit for that one.
Yeah, I'll give her a hit as well. Next.
Eve the Queen. That actually was a good fucking look, so I say hit for that one.
You just skipped over Queen Kong.
We just did Queen Kong.
Oh, we did? I thought we did Pythia. Sorry, I'm fucking tired and I'm drunk right now.
Go to Eve the Queen.
Eve the Queen? Okay, that was okay. I don't, again, none of these looks really stuck out to me.
It's a mini challenge.
Yeah, I know it's a mini challenge.
I need you to do how you did the mini challenge photo shoot. That's what we're mostly paying attention to. Did they do good? Did they do bad?
It was okay. It was alright. Solid. Good job.
Alyssa Edwards.
What a patriot.
Are you gonna bring that up the whole fucking podcast just so she's from the U.S.?
I imagine a fucking bald eagle dropping a nuke on a foreign country.
Shut up, we cannot say that!
What a fucking patriot!
Cut!
I'm not cutting that. It is so obvious that I'm being sarcastic.
What'd you think about Alyssa Edwards? You didn't like it, did you? You didn't like it.
I don't care that it's American and it's unhealthy for me because it's full of trans fat and saturated fat. It's American. It's automatically good. Sure does.
Miranda LeBrow.
Hold on, man.
I don't remember this, like, look over here with Miranda. Galavaro, I can say, hey, I'll tell you this side note. If my boyfriend ever gets single, you can have my number.
I'm a true American. I'm wearing myself a hat right now.
You look like you're from Australia.
I'm an American for your information.
You look like you're from Australia, from the down under.
Well, Australia's a good second, but I am from America.
You look like you're one of those fucking Okay, let's move on. Kendall's having his USA time.
Like, I remember that.
Okay. Kitty Scott Claus. This one, I'd say, was, like, actually mid. Kitty? Hit or shit?
Well, it was very un-American, so I personally think it was shit. Although they don't really have any oil over there. Okay, I'm gonna drop the American shit. Sorry, so one of my friends for my birthday gave me, like, a beaver stuffed animal, and I figured out his voice, because I voice my stuffed animals, because I'm autistic as shit. And I gave him this American accent, because he's from Texas, and he's a Bucky stuffed animal. And so that's what I've been doing lately, because it's just funny to me, and no one else. But that's all that matters.
Okay, Vanity Vane. I don't remember hers. Really.
I don't either. Next.
So we have Athena like. I like Athena's was actually pretty good. Her outfit was actually consensual.
Okay, I'm sick and tired of this fucking hat. It makes me look fucking queer as shit. Not too fucking good.
I'm gonna move on while Kendall's there. No, Helena, she actually had fun while she was doing it. So I'm gonna have to give that one a hit. I would say for Soa, I would give that one a hit because she actually had fun too. Tessa, I feel like, because I didn't like the look, I'm going to give that a shit, but Kendall liked it for some reason.
So, do you like me in this hat?
No, because you don't look like Maddie.
But you do like me in this hat. What does this hat remind you of?
I had Maddie then.
But with regard, so Tessa Testicle was the only one I remembered. Honestly, like it crossed over into.
But you would put tits on your balls.
Will you? Will you let me speak?
Go ahead.
Will you stop invalidating us drag kings, you bigot? So Tessa Testicle falls into the realm of so bad it's good. Like putting tits on your like. I've seen some crazy cartoon porn, and I've seen porn like that before. Putting tits on your balls is so fucking atrociously horrible that it falls into the category of being memorable and funny. So I actually like that from a morbid, I want to slit my wrist standpoint.
So you like Tessa now. You like Germany.
My folks like Germany.
Yeah, wait till you see the performance later. So, if we go on to it, so, Kendall, who do you think is your super hit of the week for the mini challenge?
Tessa. That's the only one I remembered.
Mine's gonna have to definitely go for, like, probably, like, Queen Kong or Alyssa. Who was the super shit?
Everyone. Sit back and relax. You're overworked. You're just leaning into that.
Find my vape.
You're leaning into that.
Hey, Kendall, find my vape.
You are leaning into that like you're a goddamn corporate drone.
Find your wifey's vape.
I don't know. Where did you last have it?
It's right there.
Well, reach down and get it.
How about you go? Because you're already sitting up.
No, look. You are a strong, empowered woman. There you go.
The winner of the mini
Feminism
challenge
at work here.
is Nahalena.
Pretty mid, if you ask me.
So next, RuPaul announces that for the Maxi Challenge, the queens will be showcasing their talent in the Global Talent Show Extravaganza Part 2.
God, this is like job title inflation, where someone who sells like timeshares becomes a sales brand ambassador. Talk about title inflation.
So Kendall, from what we've seen on other Drag Race seasons or franchises, how do you feel about talent shows as the first challenge?
I think it's a good first challenge. Allows the queens to show how talented or untalented they are.
So do you think it is a fair way to kick off the competition?
Yes.
I honestly think it is a fair way. I do agree with you.
Well, I think it is, and that's what matters.
Okay, so bringing up talent shows, I know you can answer this question. Do you have any favorite or memorable past talent show moments from Drag Race history?
Let me check.
I'll let him think.
Well, there was Sapphira doing opera, and there was Q doing that like doll puppet thing, and that's about it.
I'm gonna have to say, Kendall, I saw the show, the All Stars 9 finale, but I'm gonna have to definitely say, I love fucking Roxy's burlesque fucking performance, or fucking got Mick fucking doing punk rock on fucking stage was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, I checked out of that originally.
Because you never watch it. And on the flip side, what was your least favorite talent show moments? I can bring up one that Kendall might like. Mayhem being like, oh shit.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That is, so, like, I don't watch or give a fuck about a lot of Drag Race, but I was exactly thinking of that moment where Mayhem Miller forgot her fucking lines.
No, you don't know what I thought about when Mayhem did that shit, though?
What?
Is I'm like, why do I feel like Kendall would do the same thing?
Well, I wouldn't. See, I would draw upon Maddie's speech and debate experience to not forget my lines.
What? So you would do? So let me ask you this, Kendall. What would you do for the talent show?
I don't know, because I'm not going to go on a fake show.
So you don't. What would you do for the talent show?
Fuck if I know.
Do you have any talents?
Well, I have lots of talents. I could suck dick out of a glory hole. I could shoot up heroin for days.
But in all seriousness, if Dragula, the show you want to go on so bad, offered you a variety show challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
Show my dick and ass off.
Okay, honestly, I like to bring up and piggyback.
See, I love my fucking body. It's Maddie's body that's shit. It's his fault, not mine. Maddie looks like a fucking slob. I don't. I'm hot.
Can I talk?
Can you?
Okay, so bringing back up for me, I have been planning a song with Maddie that I'm going to write eventually. And Maddie's going to do that to explore my inner side of demons. If Maddie's still down for that, if Maddie's still there.
Well, I don't know. You hurt me a lot. So I don't know if I want to let Maddie do work for you, because it might hurt him as well.
Maddie, what do you think?
I'm his manager. I'm his talent manager. I'm part of...
Hey, this is how you get Maddie out, audience. This is how you get Maddie out. I gotta get AJ real quick. Maddie.
You have to go through Kendall Toxic Waste Management Incorporated, LLC. Maddie. Kendall Toxic Waste Management Incorporated, What the fuck kind of company?
Hey, Maddie, what do you think about public transportation?
I love a good train. I think public transportation's great.
I don't think buses and trains should exist.
Well, trains should exist. They should go into my ass.
What do you think about the Russia-Moscow transportation system?
I think it's a great place for me to have sex.
Damn, that's so break. Okay, the only other way, audience, to break him is you call like the second head of the audience.
You're not going to exploit Maddie by exploiting his dissociative identity disorder.
Maddie, can I just please have you right now?
Yeah, she can have me right now. What do you
I'm
need?
bringing up a good point.
What do you need?
I'm just having you piggyback where I cut off, or basically you're writing a song for me and helping me with it.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty basic pop style song. It's going to follow a basic chord progression, a simple structure.
So how do we write that in a minute? If you can tell me that, because I know they only give us a minute.
You plug it into a basic song structure, so verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
So do you want me... So, from what you've seen on Drag Race, should I dance or should I do a ballad?
You should do punk rock. You should do something extreme, something people will remember.
I'd rather have Maddie tell me what to do.
Well, I can tell you what to do because you're going to be memorable. Maddie can give you the technical details, but I can tell you how to be memorable.
Okay, let me have you guys both answer then. So, Kendall, what do you think? You think I should do punk rock?
Yeah, punk rock, maybe a little elements of pop, some sort of fusion piece. combining different genres together to create something genuinely unique and something could spin off on its own genre in and of itself, in which you're credited as the inventor. So 200 years from now, when you've got this hybrid punk rock pop genre, people are saying, yeah, Samara invented that shit. She's in the Smithsonian now.
Maddie.
I mean, Kendall does have a point.
You think you can do that with the songs?
I don't think it'll be that successful because everyone's already done that already. But a fusion of punk rock and pop is probably pretty typical because pop is so goddamn generic, and so is punk rock nowadays. All punk rock really sings about is like fuck the government this is Kendall. All punk rock sings about is fuck the government in corporations as they are sponsored by corporations. And also, I've been through mental illness. As they exploit their own trauma for money.
Kendall, we need to get back to the podcast. Maddie needs to go to sleep.
Well, go and put your hand right here to put it out.
So compared to All Stars 9, the queens weren't eliminated. The scene follows a more traditional format. What do we think about that? Does it add tension or does it take away from the All Stars twist? Because I do know that these people are being eliminated this season like traditional format.
I think it's a good return to form. I feel like the non-eliminations worked for the charity concept in All Stars 9. I think it's a nice return to form.
Yeah, but it's not like a regular All Stars where it's top 2 competing and sending the girl home. It's like regular season.
Yeah, but it's still a good return to form.
Do you like it or do you not like it?
I do like it. Fuck them.
I think I like it, but I also don't like it as a terms because I'm like, all of these girls are spending fucking money.
Oh, yes, tell me more. I want to hear more about what you have to say.
Okay, Kendall, you would say that if you were fucking returning to fucking Titans and then literally had to spend fucking $100,000, $200,000 on your fucking package.
No, I'm just putting up with you and your bullshit so I can get into your pants.
Okay, so then we get to... so this is more to you, Kendall. Do you think there is because you talk about strategies for reality TV all the time, do you think there's a specific strategy to actually stay in the competition and get the crown?
Brown-nosing the high players.
Explain.
So, brown-nosing in corporate speak is kissing ass. So you want to identify who the most powerful, effective players are, and then kiss their asses. And then you form alliances, and that should protect you to a certain extent.
Okay, so this is the next word. Okay, so back to it. We get into... Galavaro shared a deeply personal story. I'm reading from this because this is more personal.
Okay.
Deeply personal story about attending her first live show with Alyssa Edwards, which led to a relationship that profoundly impacted her life. And, I think Maddie, actually Kendall, had a lot more to share about, how he felt about, the question I'm about to, ask, but I'll let you go on. I don't even have to ask the question, but...
Oh,
I know you shared a lot, while we were watching as well.
Oh, about the language barrier?
I mean, not about the language barrier, but, having, her husband, teach her dance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a great thing, when you have a relationship and your partner can teach you something. And it's unfortunate what has happened that her partner is now dead. But yeah, there's nothing more I can really say on that.
So now Helena opened up about her challenging journey of overcoming family obstacles to pursue her passion for drag. Do you think these struggles has shaped her resilience and creativity?
Probably. Everything shapes your resilience and creativity. Life is a continuous process of improvement and changing. So everything's going to shape your whatever resilience or creativity you might have.
I think it's more about, I've seen that also, but I've also seen artists that are why the fuck do I care what my parents think? I'll do my own shit. It's I've seen it from, that's me I've seen it from like not only Kendall, but only from like me too. Like outside of drag, I've seen it. I have seen it from you, Kendall. Outside of drag with Maddie.
Go fuck yourself. Hey, listen, Maddie's father, Mr. Chuck. I understand that you have some serious questions about whether my existence is valid or worth anything. I would like to respond to those questions with my hole is always open, in case your wife just isn't putting it out anymore. And I can always wear fake tits and a wig to make you think that I'm a girl. And if you get drunk enough, you'll think that I'm a woman, and having butt sex with me will feel the same.
You do realize that Maddie has to have sex with his father?
Maddie was born in Florida, so that's not too far out of the question. Okay? Alright, good. Glad I could.
I don't think Maddie would do that, but okay.
Oh my god, you don't want to tap into how Maddie feels about his father, like deep down. In terms of me. This is the most I can get away with without Maddie just killing me.
So, if in all seriousness, audience, I will bring up this point. Maddie, how do you feel with what I just brought up? Because I know you have shared a lot, like, you care what your parents think, but you also, mostly, you don't care what the fuck they think.
So, when it comes to what my parents think, I respect their opinion. I understand that they know a lot more than I do in terms of experience and wisdom, and I understand that they're more successful than I am. So when it comes to asking for advice with regards to that, I respect them on that, but I do take it with a grain of salt and understand that it's a factor into how I make my decisions. It doesn't drive my decision making.
So if we bring up drag, how does that affect it?
So my father understands that I'm passionate about it, but he thinks that the Orlando scene is bad for me, and I am inclined to agree with him.
So if we talk about just drag in general, not just Orlando.
Drag, he understands that I'm passionate about it, and he respects that, but he thinks that from a purely efficiency standpoint, there's better ways I could spend my time. And I do agree with him. If I was purely concerned about money and efficient use of time, I would not do drag. But I am passionate about it, that's why I do it.
I think with me, it came to, piggybacking off of you, I think it came to me, Maddie has heard this conversation, / Kendall as well, but it came to that conclusion that my mom was I just never wanted you to experience the bad shit that was happening in the gay scene.
See, my father, when my father first outed me, it was just me and him, or him and I rather, grammatically correct. We were watching a show, he's like, Matthew, I know you're gay. And what he said was, Matthew, I support you and I still love you, but there's a lot of wrong turns in the gay scene.
See, but my parents, knew what I was gay, but she didn't want me to follow after them because she wasn't sure about having, Maddie, you know the bad stuff that goes down.
Yeah. When it comes to what my father said about wrong turns in the gay scene, he was absolutely right. In Florida, there are a lot of wrong turns. It's like an expressway on the goddamn north or west side of Jacksonville. Every turn is a wrong turn.
And I guess, if I can speak out of drag for a second, which I already am, but I guess, me, Maddie showed me that there's a lot of good side to it. Kendall showed me there's a lot of good side to it. I'm going to bring up his more of a drag name because that's how we're phrasing him on the podcast. But you showed me that there is a good side to being gay and homosexual.
Yeah. So, being gay or homosexual or however it is you define it is like going to a buffet, right? So you go to the buffet and, some of the trays have a lot of good shit. A lot of the trays have a lot of good shit on them. But some of them, it's a little questionable. Maybe the meat's a little old. You might get some salmonella or E. coli. And some of it's complete fucking shit. So it's a matter of picking what you want out of the buffet, you start with the stuff you're comfortable with, but then you keep a bit of an open mind. But if you get food poisoning from something, don't get it again. Learn from your mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And establish clear boundaries on what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not, and stick to that. Don't let other gay guys or other people in general gaslight you into crossing over a boundary.
I guess that's why also I found, like, if I'll leave it on this point before we go on the next question, I found a great boyfriend that showed me more of what I could have than, I guess, like, he showed me how to be a leader more than I had to be a follower.
Yeah, because, like, when you're a follower, like, being a follower is easy until you actually have to do something for yourself. Then all of a sudden, it all goes, because, like, you're doing something for yourself. Who do I follow to do that? Being a leader is the best thing because you have independence. You can control your life, or influence your life rather, to an extent, because control is an illusion. And it allows you to influence your life and have direction and take ownership over yourself. And that's the true way of self-acceptance. Being able to take ownership of yourself and say, yes, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. That's how you accept yourself.
So Vanity Vane spoke about not having a traditional drag family, but instead finding support in her loved ones. I guess this goes on to more what we were talking about. How do you think this lack of drag family affects her approach to drag and her performance style? I guess, like, I can't really answer this question. This is more of a you thing. Because you have a drag family, but it's not like drag mother, da-da-da-da.
So, the bottom line is, drag families are overrated.
Not all of them, though.
In general. You don't need a drag family to do drag anymore. Back before the age of the internet and social media, you needed one because someone had to teach you how to do your hair, paint your face, dance, dress, and all that sort of stuff. But now we have the internet. You can learn all that stuff yourself. And you don't need to deal with the, demands of a drag family to do drag. That being said, a drag family can be beneficial in certain regards, particularly if you have an emphasis in wanting to perform in person, but you don't need one anymore. And for me, I think that they're kind of overrated now. Beneficial, but overrated.
I think I can't really speak to what Maddie / Kendall has gone through, but I can speak to more of, I have a drag family, and I have many, godmothers as well, but it's more of, I guess with that factor, it's more of, I got taught by them to do the things that I do, because I know back then that you could find drag makeup and stuff like that, but I can't really speak to the same experience Kendall has gone through.
See, for me, it's either you taught me or I taught myself. Because I know, at the end of the day, I know, if I need to learn something quickly, I know that I can just find it online or teach myself. Or if I really need to, I can go out and ask someone else. Hey, how do you do this?
For example, if I bring up an example here, for makeup, I learned from them, but then I also took my makeup my own way and learned by myself. But if we talk about wigs, yes, I might have learned from other people. Yes, Kendall might have given me advice, but I learned how to do my wigs on my own. Yes, I do buy wigs from, I will give her a shout out because she is a great supporter. Parasitic Wigs, if you ever wonder where I get those big hair from, it's more from Parasitic Wigs, who's my friend Parasite.
Yeah, you should buy all your wigs from there. Stop having other people do them. Buy from Parasitic Wigs now. Quickly.
But yeah, I guess, I learned from there. Kendall doesn't, if I mention, his wigs that you see him wear, I had to learn how to fucking tease him that way.
Yeah, online. So, my background, because of the shit that I've dealt with in the gay scene, I've always been very hesitant to put trust in other like drag artists. I am coming around to that slowly, but that's where part of where my attitude comes from in terms of learning myself and not relying on a drag family. And also, I'm a very independent person. I'm self-taught in a lot of things, not just in my gay life, but also I don't like to call it my gay life because a lot of the stuff that I learned from my gay life, I ultimately brought over to my daytime life. But even in my daytime life, a lot of that stuff, I'm self-taught. I can teach myself. Why do I need someone else to teach me? Except for my bachelor's degree in computer science, I paid a lot of money to get that. Sorry, not me, my parents. I use that pretty well. College is overrated. Check out my Boys Night College podcast whenever that comes out. Plug it.
So if we move on to the next question, Kendall, how do you feel knowing that this is the last day before elimination start? Do you think the queens are feeling the pressure, or will bring their best knowing that someone is going home soon?
I think they're just happy to perform.
I think they're happy to get this platform, but the part that I do want to bring up, I guess, like, you can kind of feel pressure with eliminations because you're like, okay, I've noticed there's non-eliminations and there is eliminations, but I guess, like, since this is Olympic style level, you kind of have to start with eliminations with the traditional format.
Yeah, I just gotta say, I am so glad I got my vodka and tequila back so I can get drunk now at home. No bars necessary. Well, like I said, I think they're just glad to be here and perform on television. They have a big privilege that a lot of people will never get.
So it's like, before I do go into my answer, I kind of want Kendall to talk about this because I know he loves culture as well. We like it the same way, but Kendall has more to talk about in that kind of regard.
I'm taking my fucking shoes off. This is uncomfortable.
So what do you think about the diversity of drag cultures represented this season? How do you think the difference in drag culture from all over the world will influence the competition?
Well, I think it's going to influence it in a sense that we're going to see different cultural expressions from each of the queens. And we're going to see different strengths from each of them. So I imagine that from the UK, we'll see strengths in comedy. France, we'll see strengths in fashion. We'll see different skill sets from each of the queens based on the cultural.
Yeah, it's more about like the drag, like diversity, I would say. But I do want to bring up one question that I do have in mind. So I know Kendall does watch a lot of like comedy stuff, even with his like YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
But how do you judge comedy based on its like, I guess like, because RuPaul's from the U.S., Michelle and Jamal are from the U.S., those are the main judges. How do you judge comedy considering that different countries have different comedy?
So I'm just going to drop a hot take here. I don't think this season is fair because you're dealing with a bunch of vastly different cultures who have different standards on what is considered good and bad. And from that standpoint, I don't think it's fair to judge all of them because of how different their cultures are.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, like, you know, RuPaul and that stuff, that's an American perspective.
But RuPaul has got to know like Australia and more of UK, so he knows how they play it out, but he doesn't know more of the other countries.
Yeah, but and like RuPaul can do the best that he can, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with different cultures, and I don't think that's fair in a competition. It'll make for good.
That's why it goes back to my question that I tried to ask like you and your friends earlier. Is like, do you think that these queens have an advantage that have been judged by Michelle and Ru? Because you know, you've seen Michelle in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you think they have an advantage because they have been judged by Michelle and Ru before? Because Down Under is also judged by Michelle. And Michelle, I will plug this, Michelle is actually hosting Down Under now because RuPaul was promoting his book tour at the time.
Yeah.
But do you think they have an advantage over the other artists?
They might. I don't know. We'll have to see how the season goes. But like cultural differences this has been a Maddie talking. Cultural differences, and not just over the world, but also over time, have interested me. Did you know that the fascination of like the slim, muscular, proportionate man being attractive is actually a new thing? That's actually a modern thing. For most of history, it used to be that someone who was obese was actually considered the most attractive. Because if you were obese, then you were probably rich and you had access to a lot of food. And so obesity actually used to be the highest standard of attractiveness for a lot of our prior history. The slim, twinkish, attractive man is a new thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about me and you, I think, like, what drew me to you, it wasn't your looks. Like I told you, it wasn't your looks at all. It was more of... How do you fucking say that word?
Are we talking Samara and Kendall or Maddie and AJ?
No, it's Maddie and AJ. It's more of...
The balls I had to wear the outfit that I wore?
Yeah, but there's a word for it.
Confidence?
I guess it was your confidence to wear that fucking outfit. And then I saw your personality. And then I grew to actually love you and still be with you. Like, okay, in all seriousness, yes, we might be Kendall and Samara, and we play a toxic relationship because we are demonic and hate is love, as I said before. I love Maddie. I always will.
I love you too.
Might as well we go through our fucking, like, shit like every other couple does, but I'm like...
Oh yeah, we fight all the time.
That's normal, because if you didn't have that, that's not, like, as Maddie said, that's not love.
Like, we fight all the time. I promise you, my dad and stepmom, I know they love each other. They fight like 3 or 4 times as much as we do. They fight even more than we do, and even more intensely. I've heard the fights. And I know they love each other. If you're fighting in a relationship, if both of you are fighting, that's proof you care. Because, like, if you don't care, you're not going to fight in it. But, with regards to, like, how I dress...
It's not, like, I guess it's not, it's, like, babe, it's not about how you dress. It's more about, like, your like, you told me all the time, your confidence to wear Maddie outfits.
So, I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. It's not really confidence. I just don't give a shit what other people think anymore.
But I see confidence in you.
Well, okay, there is some confidence, but ultimately it's, I don't care. I don't get anything out of caring what some arbitrary no one thinks.
No, but if you didn't care, you wouldn't care about, like, sewing outfits for, like, Kendall, Maddie, AJ, and Samara at the end of the day.
Well, I don't care what other people think. Like...
It shouldn't... Okay. I'm not gonna get into this. You got, like... We are gonna talk about this on a separate podcast because I know Maddie has to go to bed soon, / Kendall.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say... You will get a teaser of this when I talk about it with Paris. We do talk about this, like, a little bit, too, with the drag artists, like, in the drag community and the gay community. But I promise you, I will do a podcast with Maddie soon talking about drag culture and, like, the gay culture.
Yeah, like, the final word on this for my outfits is, I dress in a way that gives me a boner when I look at myself in the mirror. I don't care what other people think anymore. I don't get anything out of it.
Alright, Kendall, so what do you think about RuPaul's look tonight?
It was different. Memorable. It was good.
I think I actually like that look. Yeah, I do agree with you being different and memorable. If we talk about our guest judge this week, we do have also Michelle Visage and Jamal Sims on the panel. But if we do have our guest judge, she's a Mexican singer. I do not know her work, Donna Paula. But I'm going to have to say, like, Kendall, do you know her work at all?
No.
Yeah, like...
No.
I guess, like, moving on from that...
No.
Let's move on to the talent show.
No, let's not move on. Let's stay on it for a while. I don't think Maddie should get sleep. I think he should stay up for as long as possible. Keep drinking.
Help me. Send help as quick as you can, please.
Why do you need help?
You do call... Samara, this is your wifey.
I know. Well, I know that's you, but I'm feeling the body that you're in.
Kendall! Before we get into the talent show... Now you just made me skip. You see, you happy now?
It's your fault. Quit blaming everything on me. You're a strong, independent woman. Everything's your fault now.
Before we get into the talent show, do we think that all queens need... Okay, this is actually a good question. Do we think that all queens need to be funny in talent shows, or is there room for diverse talents?
There's room for diverse talents.
Evaluate.
Funny only goes so far. If you got something serious... Because, like, funny is easy.
It's because they want to make RuPaul laugh.
Yeah, but, like, if you do something serious and emotionally impactful... That's more difficult, but if you're successful, it'll go a lot farther.
But me as the queen. So let's say you and Maddie are writing a song for me, right? Mm-hmm. How do I show that on the fucking stage if it's a fucking ballad?
Well,
let's say I'm on the Drag Race stage at this point.
Well, like I'm deriving from the experiences I've had watching local drag. Now, sure, it's easier for you to dress in like a dino suit and call people a faggot, and that's funny. But, like, if you're giving a serious performance, if you're successful, which I have seen, that's going to stick with me a lot more. Like, I remember one time at OTR, I think it was, like, Mikey Meeks or something, did a serious performance, and it was so well done. I'm like, whoa.
I'm still trying to find out what the song is today. I'm still trying, because Kendall loves that song. I want to perform it one day. Mikey, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I want to know what that fucking song is.
If I figure out that song, that's going onto my swing list.
I know you want me to do that song one day.
Oh yeah, that's going on my swing playlist.
Do you want to explain so Mikey knows what song we're talking about? Do you want to explain a little bit more?
It was like a winter show or something. Like she was in like a white, fluffy sort of outfit.
I think it was like the... What the hell is that fucking... Winter Wonderland?
Yeah, it might have been Winter Wonderland.
But yeah, next the queens compete in a... That was a fucking hilarious fucking drag story hour that I would have loved to go to.
Well, drag artists pulling shit out of their asses, that's not new. How do you think these drag shows get done? The whole operation feels like it's pulled out of someone's ass. There's no organization.
What did you think about Pythia, though?
It's funny, memorable. It was okay. Memorable.
So we have No Helena from Italy, and I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time. I think it was like mid, because I've seen drag artists perform on talent shows, and it's kind of like that.
C tier, pretty mid, not memorable. Next.
Okay, Eve the Queen was actually fucking hilarious. I cannot.
Glamorous rice cooker.
No, but she tries to show. She brought a fucking dragon in fucking there.
You know what? I will make an exception for glam here. That was pretty good.
So, what did you think of Galavaro?
I thought it was all right. So, from a technical standpoint, it was excellent. But I feel like, at least with the amount of drag that I've consumed, I've gotten to a point where, like, just pure sex is kind of repetitive.
I think I actually like Gulliver, and it's not saying because I have a crush on him. Yes. Maddie is my number one, though. But I'm going to say this. Galavaro, I do agree with the technical point, but I'm just going to say I like that performance. Because I'm like, not many people can... okay, so I'm going to be honest. Yes, I am Samara, but AJ, I'm out of track. So AJ used to do Go-Go. And with that, now you have a striker. Do you want to walk away while I talk?
Yes, I will.
Sorry, Kendall wasn't accepted in Go-Go Boy. He always wanted to be accepted.
I don't want to fucking hear it. Speak lower.
So it was more of like, I guess like me with that scene, I guess like I haven't seen many people do that on the pole, and the fact that she can do that that was incredible. So I'm going to have to give that a hit for me. Okay, so Vanity Vane, I am going to say I love this fucking performance because she literally she doesn't care what other people think.
Yeah, I love it too. This was great, excellent, memorable. Love the style, love the music. Next.
So if we go back here, Kendall. So we go from Pythia, Nahalena, Testa Testicle, Eva La Queen, Galavaro, Vanity Vane. Which ones were super hits for you and which ones were super shits?
Oh, well, the only super hit was the last one. So Vanity Vane.
I'm gonna say, honestly, I would have to say Vanity, Gala, and Pythia for me.
Okay. None of them was super shits for me, so.
So let's get to the runway now.
Yeah, let's just get through this. It's 5:22 in the morning. I have to go to bed. I have to be up tomorrow.
So we get to Nahalena. Okay, we're talking about the cat. Like, let's before we get into the category. Actually, Kendall, what would you have worn if the money goes around? Local currency, eleganza.
America, baby. Duh. I would have dressed because, okay, there is only one currency, and that's oil. So I would have worn oil, so something black, because oil is black money, and that is the only currency that exists. Look at fucking Dubai. I'm gonna pour myself another drink while you yap on about what you care about.
I think what I have worn is probably something going on the dollar. I would have worn $1 and then painted my face fucking green and had it be probably one of the presidents, if I'm gonna be honest with that. It have to be Nahalena's look. I like the reveal. I just didn't like the look. If I'm going to be honest with that. Okay, Kendall, what did you think about Nahalena?
Mid. Next.
I mean, with this look.
Mid. Next.
I actually like but dislike this look, but I'm just have to say it is around the world. But I'm I wish you would have showed more Euro.
Feels too it feels too costumey. That being said, I don't think it's really fair for the European queens outside of the UK because they all use the euro. So it's the same fucking currency, except if you're the UK, you're cool and you use the pound sterling.
We're about to get in the UK with Kitty Scott Claus. I'm gonna let Kendall go first. Kitty Scott Claus.
I don't see how that relates to the pound sterling, but maybe it's because I'm American and a superior country. I don't understand.
I'm I guess
currency.
I liked how you put coins on the dress, but I'm how does that relate UK?
Hey, you know what I remember? I remember during the pandemic when the pound sterling, actually no, not the pound, the euro actually got less than $1. It was worth less than a US dollar. I bet a lot of currency traders made a lot of fucking money off of that.
So up next we do have Pythia. What is Canada's currency again?
Canadian dollars.
So Pythia. I actually do like that look. I'm gonna have to say I know Kendall liked that look, but I know he can evaluate more talking to design scale.
I liked it. I like the integration of actual coins. Although she's probably breaking some sort of defacing of currency rule for doing that, but I liked it. Great design, good details, like the shield. Great recreation of that Lady Britannia look. Next.
Just letting you know, I do not remember how these currencies are set. So, if you see me asking questions to Kendall, that is why.
Well, set, what do you mean by that?
I don't know the other currencies.
I know that most of them are worth less than the U.S. So, little.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how to dress, so all that. So I'm I know U.S. is dollar, of course.
Well, I'm still gonna drop some knowledge on you. So most of the world's currencies are worth less than the dollar. The dollar is, up until recently, considered the world's reserve currency. Although there is an alliance between, it's called BRICS. So I think it's like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and North Korea, who have allied to have their own reserve currency to challenge the US dollar, which is pretty interesting. But a little bit of geography and history and modern events going on for you.
So next we have Queen Kong. What is Australia's?
The Australian dollar.
I actually love that fucking look. It's gonna be like a hit for me.
So when it comes to Queen Kong's look, so I've done a little bit of looking into Australia as a country, and I think it fits perfectly with Australia. Because so Australia is an interesting country because a lot of their industry and a lot of their exports are considered dirty industries. So we're talking like a lot of metals, a lot of mining operations, raw materials, a lot of dirty industry. So gold, which is another dirty industry, I think is a great representation of Australia. Now, when I say dirty industry, that's not a bad thing. It's just like raw materials. So like here in America, we're used to a lot of technological exports, a lot of the more sort of cleaner stuff that doesn't require as much pollution or heavy work. But like Australia, it's a lot of heavy industry and heavy resources there.
So up next we have Alyssa Edwards from the U.S. I mean, okay, I can say about Alyssa Edwards from like the U.S. I will say this is giving more casino than it is like the U.S. like dollar. But I know Kendall has a lot to say.
You know, it's like you've got like a fucking dumbass NATO or UN meeting, and then the U.S. walks in and they just slaps down a bar of money, and they're like, "Yeah, we're footing the bill for all this. We're fucking rich. We have the world's reserve currency. We're paying for all of your shit. Yeah, so we're gonna put down some gold." So I kind of like that. It's like basically the U.S. It's like an international fuck you.
So yeah, rich. That's gonna be a hit from both of us.
Yeah, that's a hit for me.
Eve La Queen from Philippines.
Currency
okay, Eve La Queen. That actually okay. But that reveal though.
The reveal was okay, but
it was okay. Did you see how it went from like piggy bank to?
But like currency and love don't go together in the same sentence. There is no currency of love.
But look at the reveal though, Kendall.
The reveal was okay, but like when she
Why
said,
was it okay?
Because like the reveal was too obvious. But like currency and love, because she said.
So you're telling me you knew she was coming out with a reveal?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I knew she was, because that's obvious. But like when she said that the Philippine currency is a currency of love, I'm like, currency and love do not go together in the same sentence. In fact, they're opposed. Currency is a cold, emotionless concept of humanity and society. Love is giving a fuck about someone else to the point where you'll go out of your way to do shit for them.
So up next we have Galavaro from Mexico.
I'm showing another part of me.
Before I do go into Mexico, what's the currency?
That's a tough one. It's not Bolivares.
I'm gonna let Kendall figure that out before I go into
Pesos.
Pesos. Doesn't Philippines have pesos though?
Philippine pesos.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So Galavaro. I'm gonna say I love this look, and if you guys all know me as fans, you know I love my fucking tails. So I'm gonna have to say hit.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a great look. Definitely captivated my attention. If she wins the $200,000, I'm sure that'll be a great thing. So, okay, so like, this is actually an issue that Mexico is facing. So, Americans who can't afford to live here, they actually emigrate from the U.S. to Mexico. And so what they're like is like, oh my god, I can afford all this stuff here. Well, yeah, because you have American dollars on an American salary. And it's an issue because it's driving prices up in Mexican cities. Americans who move to Mexican cities and drive the prices up so locals can't live there anymore. Actually, that's something that happens in the country here in Florida. So many people have...
You just say country of Florida.
Here in the country and then the state of Florida.
I was about to say.
But, so, like, a lot of people moved here and it drove the prices up. Because, like, Florida used to be a very affordable state. So, like, you want to know what this apartment would have costed 5 years ago? Probably like $1,100. $1,000 maybe.
You would have been happy with that.
I would have been very happy with that. But since everyone moved here, a lot of people want to live here in Florida because of the no income tax and the generally favorable environment to rich people and businesses. The rents shot up, which priced a lot of locals out. And that's happening even more so in Mexico with a lot of wealthy Americans moving there and pricing the locals out. And so that's what happens when you introduce people who make U.S. dollar salaries into a country with a weaker currency like Mexico or most countries in general.
So, with Gala, would you give her a hit or a shit?
Hit.
So we have Alina Likis from Belgium. Okay, so we have Alina Likis from Belgium. But before I do go on, if this is a hit, which means basically it's a good fucking look, or a shit, which means we didn't like it, I'm gonna have Kendall explain. What is Belgium's currency?
I think the euro.
Euro?
Let me double check that quickly. But she made a comment on poor people being taxed. Yeah, the euro. So poor people are not taxed by the government, but there's a famous saying from one of my favorite YouTube series, Honest Ads. It's expensive to be poor.
I mean, back then they said we would hate taxes. Do you remember?
Yeah, but like...
Do you remember the British Austin Tea Party?
But, like, even nowadays, it's expensive to be poor. Because, like, with poor... When you're poor, you... And I would know this because I don't have a lot of money. You have to shop at sort of those so-called bargain stores, but you can't buy in bulk. Because when you buy in bulk, you save per unit because you're buying in bulk, and there's the concept of economy of scale. So you actually pay more per unit if you buy individually. And so over time, that adds up. So, like...
So that's why you buy individual outfits?
Well, textiles is different. So textiles is different, but like they're like toilet paper. So you
don't buy toilet paper because you use a bidet.
Yeah, bidet because it saves money. The water's cheap.
Yeah, I can't use a bidet anymore.
Why?
I can't use a bidet anymore because basically, like, that puts more water into my fucking ass and it never lets anything out, so I can't poop.
It doesn't do that. That's not how water works.
I can't poop with a bidet, is what I'm saying.
Turn it to a lower pressure.
I'm just gonna use toilet paper.
Gross. You're killing the Amazon rainforest. But
okay, back to it too.
But like when it comes to buying in bulk, you're gonna pay more per unit if you buy an individual roll of toilet paper versus buying a 24-pack. Because the concept of economy of scale.
We don't buy that shit. Spencer buys the toilet paper.
Yeah, I don't buy toilet paper because I don't use it.
Well, you buy toilet paper for me.
Yeah, when you beg me to. Because, like, I can't use the bidet.
Shut up.
Okay,
let's move on to some of the news from France. Kendall is looking up Swedish currency, their old currency before Euro for me. But I would say with Vanity Vane from Sweden,
the Swedish
that actually
krona
was a good look.
Swedish krona.
Swedish krona was the currency, as we've heard from Kendall. What did you think about this? Because I thought it was a hit.
I loved it. I mean, outside of the currency aspect, because I don't really care about that, I just care about the quality of the look. I liked it. It was a hit for me.
So I'm going to have to give this look I didn't like it, so I'm gonna have to give this a shit in my opinion.
It was okay. I can't give it a shit or a hit, so I'll give it a mid.
Dude, also, so if you guys didn't know, Kendall found out Brazil is...
So the Brazilian currency is the Brazilian real. Their currency, as of the recording of this video, is worth 18 cents of US dollars. So it's a weaker currency compared to the USD.
So before we go into Untucked, I'm gonna have to say... Let's talk about the second talent show. So I'm gonna have to think... Galavaro and Vanity Vane would have to probably be my favorite looks from the Super Hits. What do you think?
Vanity Vane was the only one that stuck out to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this before we do go on, like with Untucked. So before we do, we want to group brought it to the stage more. No, let's start that part. That's the part. So, do you like part 1 or part 2 more?
Part 2 is more memorable because I just saw it.
Yeah, I would have to say I'm in between, but I'm gonna say part 2 because I remember more performances from there too as well. But I'm gonna say. So, what do you think? So if I bring this question up before I do go on to my point. What do you think about, like, another artist borrowing your stuff?
So, when it comes to drag artists, I don't like letting them borrow shit because I know I'll never get it back. Particularly my outfits. Because it's inevitably going to be, I wore this once, I love it, I want to make this a regular part of my wardrobe. In fact, you know what? I have an example of that. I have an example of that for those of you watching. Let me pull this shit out. Entertain them while I pull this out.
So I'm gonna have to say, like, with Tessa, I'm gonna have to say, like, I like her, but I guess, like, it's giving me more, like...
So, this shirt right here...
No, you didn't.
Yes,
no,
I did.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. So for those of you listening, I'm holding a Cell Block 13 black and red crop top that I bought on internationaljock.com. So, when we were first dating, I let him have a taste. I let Samara or AJ have a taste of this, and he's like, "I want it. This is mine now." So I actually bought an entirely separate.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I said, could I borrow Cell Block 13? And what did you tell me? What did you tell me? You said when I was going to Greensboro that you were gonna let me borrow some of your outfits, and then I came back and I said, could I have Cell Block 13? Because I've been wearing it for all this time. Why don't you get another one so we can be twins?
Yeah, it started with, can I borrow it, and ended with, this is mine now. So yeah, I bought a second one. But, oh man. Cell Block 13 is an example of that designer gay shit where it
What do you
costs
think
way
about
too
being
much.
twins now?
I think it works great.
It works great for us.
Yeah. But, like, yeah.
You know I don't even wear Cell Block 13 that much.
Yeah, I know.
You can wear Cell Block 13 anytime you want to, can't you?
Yes, well, yeah, like, oh my god, like, people at gay clubs get so upset.
You also didn't you say you wanted to wear Cell Block 13 but a shorter version? That's why I kept it in the first place.
I am not adjusting that top at all. Because that was an
You said you wanted
top.
to wear a medium instead of a large.
I think they're the same size.
They're not the fucking same size because I wear a fucking large, you wear the medium.
Both of those are mediums.
You said you bought a large for me.
No, I didn't. They're both mediums.
Okay, well,
but
anyway, let's go on.
They're men's mediums, so they're larger.
Let's go on. So we bring up the point. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say that Kendall, I don't know if you've seen it yet. Why does Tessa remind me of like a fucking like bitch so far?
Well, you know, she reminds me of a particular individual that we've both dealt with, who we shall not name. And that'll be the end of it. I know you know who I'm talking about.
Yes. Okay, let's get into Untucked for a moment. So we already talked about we like part 2 more. So, and we already talked about testicle boring types. So we saw some of the queens getting into their feelings backstage. So, Vanity Vane did not feel this way. I will say this. What do we think about, like, the queens actually living up to RuPaul actually seeing him for the first time and performing for him?
I think they're doing the best they can. Like, I have certain, like, you know, if I'm watching Drag Race, I have certain expectations of that. And I think they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, I would say the best they can as well. So with eliminations looming, how do you think the queens are handling this pressure now knowing the talent shows are over? They're going to be eliminated now.
They're shitting themselves.
I'd probably shit myself too, being like, I gotta live up to a certain, like, standard now.
Like, oh fuck, I actually have to enforce standards now. Oh, don't talk to my engineering side about standards.
After judges' critiques, we find out that there will be no eliminations again this week. Instead, the top 2 queens will perform a lip-sync song for the win. Sorry, Kendall likes eliminations.
I like headbanging and a certain something else that I'm doing.
You can't do that. You can't do that. This is a podcast.
You're right. Jerking you off is inappropriate for Christian audiences. That was what I was doing, right?
Can I finish, please?
Maybe you can. I don't know.
The top 2 queens of the week are Eve La Queen and Vanity Vane. Did you agree, Kendall?
Hey, Maddie, if you're watching this, I'm making progress on your boyfriend. I agree with that. I mean, I didn't really care about Eve La Queen. I cared about Vanity Vane.
I like both performances. Like, I would have to say, yeah, they would get top 2 for me. I thought 50 will be there as well, but I guess it was only top 2, so they were looking at it that way. So, Eve and Vanity lip-sync to Paranoia by the guest judge, Donna. What did you think of lip-sync? So, me, I'm gonna have to say, like, it was good.
Sorry, my fucking ear has got, like, some sort of liquid in it. It's pissing me off. What was the question again?
What did you think of the lip-sync?
It was good. I'm glad Vanity won.
So Vanity wins the lip-sync. What do you think, Kendall? Do you agree with the outcome?
Yes. Yes!
Kendall really loves Vanity. As we
Yes!
know.
Black leather jacket, punk rock. Absolutely that should win. Fuck this fucking pop shit. Fucking Kim Petras and Dua Lipa can go get fucked.
Alright, Kendall. So after seeing these queens in action, who are your front runners so far? Can you answer this question yet, or do you want me to wait?
Vanity Vane.
Is there any other people?
No.
Damn, you don't even like US anymore.
Well, I love the US, whatever the names are.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a look back at who's competing. So me, okay, I'm gonna have to say I love Pythia. That's one.
Hold on a minute. Freedom's ringing. Pick up the phone. Freedom wants to talk to you.
Can I say my opinion, please?
Let Freedom ring.
I know Maddie has to go to bed, so I'm trying to end this early.
Let him stay up forever.
No.
Let him stay up until he fucking dies of insomnia.
No. No.
Then I can have Maddie.
No.
And then I'll show
Because all you want to do is fuck AJ at that point.
Well, I'm just going to torment Maddie for your pleasure.
Okay. Fans, I love Pythia. She's one of mine. I also love Queen Kong, Alyssa Edwards, Eve La Queen, Galavara, Athena, Soa, probably Vanity. See, it's hard for me because I can't fucking decide. Audience, wait for me until next week or when it's like midway, because Kendall knows me. I don't narrow it down until it gets to like fucking midway or the third week, because there's a lot to see. Well, my spooky fans, I'm gonna tell you that's been a wrap on another stirring episode of Hellfire. Second group of queens brought their A game to the Global Talent Show Extravaganza. And as you can tell, the competition is only heating up. So we look ahead, all 12 queens will finally come together next week, and there will be eliminations. Probably help me as well. So Kendall, as always, it's been a hell of a ride critiquing with you.
Do you have a vitamin D deficiency? If so, maybe you should consider going outside every once in a while.
So to all of our spooky fans watching from the underworld and beyond, stay tuned, stay wicked, and remember, this is just the beginning.
Hey, comment if you want OnlyFans of me getting dommed by this big black daddy right here.
No.
Yes.
Until next time, keep those claws sharp, and we'll see you on the next episode of Hellfire.
Bye,
this is Samara Hex D'Angelo, and...
Who?
You.
Me.
Say your name.
I'm Maddie. Of course.
Say your name. Your fans are following you.
My name is Kendall, and if you want some real claws, I'd recommend learning blacksmithing and building some for yourself, you dumb fuck!
Well, this is D'Angelo signing off. Don't let that darkness catch you without your crown.
Go fuck yourself.